Yeah, because the latest thing now, because Fox News or somebody is saying like Biden can close the border. So, because that's the answer to them not doing the immigration bill. We don't need that bill. That bill's awful. No MAGA has read the bill, but the bill's awful, and Biden should just shut the border. And I'm just like, so you don't want immigration reform? So, like, if that is true, and he shuts the border, you still don't have reform.
Yep.
Like, because the border is not all immigrant. Like, that's just not everything. It's not
that's one of the topics I wanted to talk about tonight was the border. I'm fucking done. I don't want to hear one more fucking Republican,
Right.
a guy, a MAGA, somebody who votes Republican, somebody who is a Republican, unless there's a couple that I will actually play here in a second. But I don't say one more fucking word about the border. I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it. There are plans in place for the border, and we are actually this. First of all, let's start with Donald Trump on what he is basically telling these flying monkeys that work for him. I want you to listen, if you haven't heard it already, what Donald Trump, what his view on the border deal is.
Maybe 8 times that amount. We cannot let this happen to our country. As the leader of our party, there is zero chance I will support this horrible open borders betrayal of America. It's not going to happen.
He has no idea what's in the bill.
And I'll write it all the way. I notice a lot of the senators are trying to say respectfully, they're blaming it on me. I said, that's okay. Please blame it on me. Please. Because they were getting ready to pass a very bad bill. And I'll tell you what, a bad bill is, I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill. A bad bill you can't have. And that's what was happening in the House.
Does he ever just say anything different? Is it just everything is exactly the same?
And they all are like, oh,
yep.
It's
Yep.
so great.
Right. That's the perfect response. There's no other response than that. Yeah.
It's just no critical thinking. It's just no critical thinking.
Critical thinking? There's just no thinking at all. Forget about the critical part.
You're right. Like
critical is advanced.
We've heard Biden has literally said, "Oh, shut the border! God damn it! Just shut the fuck up and let us on."
Right.
Like that's literally where Democrats are right now, and Democrats are like pulling their hair out because they don't want to be here, but they're like, "We'll do anything to just." Let's get some reform because we have to start somewhere. And Republicans are like, oh no, that'll make Biden look good. So well, fentanyl, we don't hear about that shit.
Here is a Fox News host who literally the very first sentence, she really lays that out with a why would you even give him a victory? Which, first of all, again, I want to make clear we're talking about the crisis at the border that Fox News and all these guys talk about every time there's a Democratic president in office. They say it is our number one issue. Joe Biden goes, okay, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do the fucking border right fucking now. And they're like, well, wait a minute. Why would you give him this? And luckily, there was a reasonable Senator James Langford, who had this response.
I give him this in an election year, the cover of this deal that, critics say is still going to let a lot of people in, but he gets to take a victory lap that he's gotten something done.
Yeah, well, it's definitely not going to let a bunch of people in. It's focused.
First of all, I like that. Debunks her very first question is it's going to let a lot of people in because that, appeals to the idiots watching. Although this is Sunday morning. I don't know how many of those morons are up at Sunday morning watching this, but
it's on actually turning people around on it. It is interesting. Republicans 4 months ago would not give funding for Ukraine, for Israel, and for our southern border because we demanded changes in policy. So we actually locked arms together and said, we're not going to give you money for this. We want a change in law. And now it's interesting, a few months later, when we're finally getting to the end, they're like, oh, just kidding. I actually don't want a change in law because it's a presidential election year. We all have an oath to the Constitution, and we have a commitment to say we're going to do whatever we can to be able to secure the border.
Gosh, that's really being missed nowadays or anymore in American politics, is that the oath to the Constitution, the oath to your office, and the
Right.
oath to do the right thing. If there is a crisis and there is something wrong that needs to be fixed, and again, let's make clear, Lana and I have talked about this before. Let's make it perfectly clear. Joe Biden did not take over presidency and then all of a sudden we had a border crisis. This has
Right.
been going on for decades. So let's
Right.
not pretend like it just happened now. But he's working with senators and he's doing his job as an elected official to do whatever it is they can to come up with a bipartisan effort to, at the very minimum, address some of the issues at the border. And you have a Fox News host going, well, why would you do that? That's ridiculous. You're giving a guy that we don't want to be president the
Right.
possibility of being president again.
Right.
So if there's another terrorist attack, do we
Right.
just go, let's wait until the, I don't know. What are they saying, Lana?
Right. I don't know. Today, Marjorie Taylor Greene had the nerve to say millions of people are coming through the border, which is not true because where the
No.
fuck are they going if there's a
Right.
million people coming across? But the other piece is, if that is your concern, why aren't you working with Democrats for reform? Once again, why are we just saying we don't like that? Fuck it. Like, that doesn't make any sense, right? We're gonna wait for Donald Trump to become president. And if he doesn't, then we still have this crisis, right? Like,
Correct.
so nothing is still getting done. Like, so you'd rather just take a chance, roll the dice because we don't fucking care. Like, it's just so stupid. Greg Abbott is fighting with the government.
Yeah.
One, because he's pissed he can't shoot men, women, and children when they come across. And he's also pissed because they're trying to make him take his fucking deadly ass razor wire down.
First of all, they're and I didn't mean to cut you off, but they're talking about making him take it down because the fucking Supreme Court said you can't have that up.
He's waging war because he can't do what he fucking wants, and he wouldn't even fucking wage war in Uvalde when the fucking Robb Elementary maniac was killing all of those kids. There was no war. He's more excited now than he was about that shit. Like, go figure.
First of all, is it fair to call something a crisis if you now say that it's not something we need to address?
Right. That's the other point, right? How is it a crisis? Why are you pissed at the government and not at the House Republicans who said that they're not going to pass it? You're crying about the border wall and House Republicans are like, we're not doing anything about it. But you're pissed at the one who's like, can we sign this?
The House Republicans took over when Biden, or 2 years ago, they took over, and it is their job to introduce bills for the border. They haven't introduced anything. They said statistically, this is the worst House of Representatives in the history of the United States. The least productive, and which to me equals the worst. And Greg Abbott, isn't he the guy too that said because he was talking about abortions and he says, fuck, you don't have to worry about it, because the main thing was about rape. And he said, you don't have to worry about that because we're going to make sure there's no more rapists in Texas. Yeah. I don't know if that's working. I don't know if he figured out the plan and how to do that.
They're the highest. They are the highest out of the, what are the numbers? Like 500 something thousand rapes across 14 states with 60,000 plus pregnancies coming from that. Texas is the highest rape state.
Right.
Obviously, Greg Abbott is not doing his job because
he hasn't figured out that formula yet.
They forgive rape, forced birth. That's what they're doing. That's where we're at right now.
Well, here's another at least reasonable Republican, not my favorite Republican, but Mitt Romney was also asked about this. This is his response.
I think the border is a very important issue for Donald Trump, and the fact that he would communicate to Republican senators and congresspeople that he doesn't want us to solve the border problem because he wants to blame Biden for it is really appalling. But the reality is that we have a crisis at the border. The American people are suffering as a result of what's happening at the border. And someone running for president ought to try and get the problem solved, as opposed to saying, "Hey, save that problem. Don't solve it. let me take credit for solving it later.
That shit is crazy.
It's insanity. And again, you got these Republicans who have been doing this way longer than Donald Trump. And they're kind of sitting there shaking their heads now like, I just don't believe that this is the kind of shit that I have to go through. I have to sit here and explain to the
Right.
American public that
Right.
some loser who continues to lose and has really accomplished nothing in his life on his own. I have to listen to this because not only does he have a group of people who will listen and believe anything he says, but we now have people, elected officials, that are lock in step with everything he says. And it has got to be very frustrating.
As a private citizen, he is not
Right.
the president.
Right.
So it's even dumbfounding that lawmakers are taking orders from someone who's not a lawmaker. Like, what?
He's a lawbreaker, though.
Right. 91 felony counts, and this dude is pulling the shots, and they are just, it's just really.
Yeah, as I said, we're in a sad state, and I hear people all the time, and they're like, well, it's pretty sad for Joe Biden that he's struggling to beat a guy that has 91 felony counts, as sexual assault, all this stuff. I mean, again, this isn't because Joe Biden is really bad. This is because we have a very lazy and very stupid public when it comes to politics. We just do. And they've become lazier and they become dumber. Lana's brought it up a few times. We are now in an age of where TikTok is giving people more political news than I don't even know what real news is anymore, to be honest with you. But I've come to the conclusion that real news is more of the, when I say fake news, I'm talking about the comedy news that you see on TV, because they seem to present it better than anybody else.
Yeah. And because I was thinking that today, because I was just watching, the notifications pop up on my phone. And, the minute Corey Bush situation comes up, or the soldiers and the drone strike, they find a way to make it Biden's fault.
Yeah.
And they just say anything. And that shit sticks. It's unbelievable how quick a lie will stick. And you have to tell the truth over and over and over again. And people still may not believe it. It's almost like people love to blame. They need a fall guy that makes them feel good. It's such a strange, it's Biden's fault that the drone, was able to go and strike the what was that? The base? I don't even know what that thing was called.
Yeah.
It's just it's baffling to me. It's his fault, and Gaza is his fault. He's
the internet was supposed to, educate more people. I think obviously it's made people dumber because there is just so much. It's kind of the Steve Bannon playbook, and the Steve Bannon playbook is throw as much shit at the wall as you can and just see what sticks. He doesn't even fucking care, what you say, how they say. And really all this was orchestrated by Newt Gingrich a long, long time ago during the Reagan administration. I read a whole book. I brought this up before. It's called Burning Down the House. It's basically Newt Gingrich's strategy to use manipulation, to use falsities and falsehoods, even though it's a lot of times he didn't think, but he literally would understand, C-SPAN would televise a lot of things, but back then they would only show the speaker, and he would wait till everybody leaves the chamber. He'd get up there, say stuff, and challenge Democrats, and you wouldn't see any Democrats challenging him. And now you're thinking, well, no Democrats are even challenging what he's saying. It's because nobody was even there. He was doing it by himself, and he knew how to use these little manipulation tactics. And then once Fox News came around, oh my God, that was a wet dream for people like him and Steve Bannon. And this is just, And now you've got the internet and you've got social media, and this is just something that they attack. And it is very, very easy for people in a, I mean, even though the show's not on anymore, we're still in a kind of Jerry Springer, Maury Povich kind of,
Yeah.
mentality of things. It's what's more entertaining, what's, and that's why I forgive it, because it's entertaining. It doesn't, the educational stuff
That's
is
it.
not fun for me.
That's why they like Trump.
Yep.
They go to Trump's rallies not for policy, it's because he's entertaining.
Correct.
They're taking videos and stuff like, why? Right? Because he's entertaining. He thinks he's funny. They think he's funny. And that's what he does. He entertains them. The hand movements. He tells stupid jokes. Like, it's just really bad.
And he does it in, he will do the thing that just they eat up, because it's not just saying funny things. It is the Jerry Springer kind of thing, or the, you remember when you saw those kind of shows, you'd always have the one guy on there and he'd challenge the audience. He'd be challenging everybody and they'd be like, that's who we want to see. That's the guy. Even though I hate that guy, I want to see that guy.
And that's any of it either, but yeah.
Yeah, and he's just up there saying crazy shit. And he's saying shit about the Democrats that nobody's ever said before. They've alluded to it, and they've alluded that Democrats are this and we don't like them and we don't. But he just went full force and became this big Jerry Springer show. And that became more exciting. And you also, now you probably have too. We're in a world now where we're talking more politics with somebody who couldn't even fucking spell politics 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Now all of a sudden they're experts on it because they watch TikTok and memes.
Right. And that's
fuck out of here.
That's the other piece too. Okay. I mean, but look that's kind of how Donald Trump is. Like, they are listening to Donald Trump like he really knows foreign affairs.
Right. Knows nothing.
What? He has no idea what he's talking about. Like, this guy is not a genius. He's a fucking idiot and taking dementia tests and bragging that he can remember elephant and umbrella and fucking apple pies.
I love that you said that, Lana, because, I have a clip and it's funny because we've played this clip before, but this was at a different location. This is just another location. He was just recently in Nevada. And for some reason, I would have to imagine that even some people in that crowd are going, what are you bragging about?
It's gotta be at least a couple. And they're going, I don't get it.
I mean, or at least like, dude, this is not what is the word that people say? This is not the flex you think it is.
Yeah.
This fucking guy.
I said, is it tough? He said, yeah, it's a tough test. The first couple of questions are easy, like they'll have a lion, a giraffe, a whale, and a shark. And they'll say, which one's the lion, okay? And that's all the press covered, the first question. They didn't cover the last question. Multiply 4,733.
First of all.
Wait, what?
That's not on the fucking test. First of all, well, hold on.
Multiply times 7. Divide, without paper and pencil, by the way. Divide it by 4. Add up another 37 and a half, 0.5. I remember that.
This motherfucker thinks he's Rain Man. First of all, that is not on a dementia test.
He did not just do no, he did. Was the 0.5 the answer?
No, he said that the number divided by was something 0.5. I remember that. And it's like,
give an answer afterwards. Like, did he come up with the answer? Like, what the fuck?
He's trying to convince somebody that just I wish somebody would have went to him after the thing,
right,
and did that math and said, hey, what was the answer?
And he never gave the answer, just making shit up.
Like, let's let him finish. Let's see. I don't think he does.
What's your number? How many people in this room could do it? Not too many. Or they give you 6 names in a row. I took a lot of heat on this. They give you 6 names in a row at the beginning. Sir.
What heat?
I'm going to give you 6 names. Good. They look at him. A chair.
1,
a hat.
2.
A badge.
3.
A necklace.
4.
And they vote.
5. He said 6.
6 things. We're going to give you 6 things. And I say, good.
One person claps.
Yep.
Can you rename them? So I name them. Then they go back, and if you can do it in order, that's even better. I do them in order. Perfect. Then they come back to you 30 minutes later at the end, last question. They say, what were those 6 things? And there aren't too many people. And they laughed. Everyone said, oh, that's so easy. There's only about 2% of this room can do it, but I did it.
So basically he's telling them they can't do it. He just said on an acuity test where he had to remember shit that there were 6 things, but he only named 5. He couldn't even remember the 6
But
things.
he can't, and he just named them. I bet he can't name them again.
There is no fucking way.
He
And
can't name those again, what he just said.
I did it very easily, but I got mocked. They said, oh, that's so easy. It's not easy.
you got mocked.
It's not easy. Go home and try doing it, okay?
I love that he even tells his own supporters that you're not
They're stupid.
you're not smart. He tells them that they're not smart enough.
I can't get over. He said 4,960 whatever divided by 200 and like he literally made that shit. Like he just lied. He just lied, and that lie didn't even coordinate with the other fucking lie.
Correct.
Like you're talking about lions and tigers and bears, and then you're doing rocket science math. Like what?
But you had some people in the crowd. Yes, you did it, Mr. Trump. I can't imagine being that pathetic.